Thank you for staying with us. We go to our first topic of the day, Armed Forces Remembrance Day. It is marked every year on January 15 as a day set aside to celebrate the fallen heroes who died in the line of duty while fighting to ensure the territorial integrity of the nation, whether on land, air, water. And this is not that the land, air, water is not breached or tampered with. We have Comrade Juliet Esomchukwu, Welfare Director of REMENAF, retired members of Nigerian Armed Forces. She's here to talk about the importance of the day. It's good to have you join us.
Thank you very much.
We'll go straight to the first question and ask, what is your thought about how officers, both serving and those that are out, are being treated? Do you think we're focusing on the right things, especially today?
Well, as it implies, Remembrance Day. Remember, we are remembering both the fallen heroes, the ones still serving, and those that are retired. This is a day that is set aside for them to commemorate them, show them that the federal government appreciates what they are doing. Then the families of the fallen heroes also. Today is the day the armed forces, the federal government, appreciate them too. Show them that your husband, your wife sacrificed his or her life for this country, and say thank you. For those still serving, this is the period. Well done, and keep it up. For those that have served and retired, this is the time to say, how are you faring? Are you doing well? Is the government really taking care of the retired? Are they really taking care of the serving? Are they really caring for the widows? These are supposed to be what this day stands for.
But my curiosity obviously is, do we have to wait for a particular day in the year? Because these people work for us round the clock. I mean, you've told me, you just gave me, you reeled out how many countries you've gone to war.
Yeah.
And you peacekeeping rather. You've gone to Sierra Leone, you've been in Liberia, Sudan. I mean,
Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire.
Exactly. So do we have to wait till the 11th? I mean, I think it used to be 11th, but it clashed with the Poppy Day, so you shifted it. So do we have to wait till the 15th to celebrate or ask these questions? Are they not supposed to be questions that are necessary on a daily basis?
Well, as we all know, that it's not supposed to be a yearly thing. It's supposed to be as it comes on daily basis. You appreciate them. When a widow cries out, "Oh, I've lost my husband in the call of duty," you don't wait for 15th. Go to her rescue, find out her needs, make sure that gap is closed. The husband has always been there. You know, when a family is left, what both of them have been doing as husband and wife, and is now left the woman alone with
the burden is on one person.
The burden is heavy on one person. So this is the area that the federal government of Nigeria is supposed to step up. Because if you go to barracks, you see young widows. It is just worse now. Young widows because of the insurgents in the North-East.
We've seen instances where when they're burying them, we hear that they've given maybe the family 500,000, they say, pending when other legalities will be completed. Is there always a follow-up in the welfare of the fallen heroes' family, particularly the widows, like you mentioned?
Well, for the federal government, that is where REMENAF comes in. For the federal government, as it stands now, there is no adequate provision for that. These women, after they lose their beloved husband, you see them shuttling in and out, looking for... It's difficult for them to feed because their entitlement, they have to look for it, work for it, shuttle the military pension board, shuttle the army headquarters to make sure that something is done, to even get all the documents needed. It's not that somebody will call you up and say, "Madam, we have your husband's entitlement is ready. Can you please pick it up tomorrow?" No. You come today, they will say, "Come tomorrow." You feel this. Some of them, at the cost of going to this journey up and down, some lose their lives. So I'm involved in accidents.
So what is the retired members of the Nigerian Armed Forces doing to push for these anomalies to be addressed? Because for a woman who, for example, does not have all the papers or all the requirements to, pursue all of these things, is there no stopgap mechanism? I don't know, but there has to be something that can be done to ease their troubles. Again, I don't know how true this is, that, after a while these women are sent away from the barracks. So where are they supposed to go?
No place to go. Some of them will be sent out. It will be difficult for them to pay the bills of their children, to get another accommodation. It's a difficult scenario. So REMENAF, as the name stands, is comprises of retired members of the Nigerian Armed Forces from the Army, Navy, and Air Force. So there is a foundation that was launched on the 13th of last month.
Okay.
It's a foundation from REMENAF. It's not a government-sponsored organization. We are just like pressure groups. We disturb from the HMOD to the Military Pension Board for entitlement of these women and our retirees. Those of us who are old, some are very old, they are voiceless, they are helpless, they are in different villages, they can't feed, the pension is not forthcoming, their entitlement is nothing to write home about.
What efforts are you making? I know you're just a group in a big organization, but what efforts are you making to get the government to listen to you? And because from what you've described, the process of getting entitlement is quite cumbersome, especially for widows who might not even know how to go about it. So what are you doing to see if government can, work with you to make the lives of these people easier?
Now, REMENAF has gone as far as getting to the HMOD. They had a meeting with the HMOD last week, I think on the 12th.
Sorry, just so that our viewers can understand, what's an HMOD?
The HMOD is a representative of the retired members of the veterans.
Okay.
The Armed Forces veterans.
Okay.
That is the body that represents the Armed Forces veteran at the Ministry of Defense.
Okay.
That is supposed to be our constituency in the Ministry of Defense. He is the one that monitors what comes in, like the harmonization of pension that was done since 2007. Up to date, it has not been paid.
Wow.
They had meeting with them on the 12th. What is the way forward? November 2007.
Wow.
This harmonization was approved by the federal government. As I'm talking to you now, not a dime. We don't even know when this money will be paid. The meeting we had with them, with the HMOD on the 12th, he said that he was going to do something.
So on days like this, that all attention is focused on armies, both those that are serving and those that are fallen heroes, is there any way your organization is working to bring these issues to the fore, so that instead of just the celebration that we see, some of these vital issues that you just mentioned
on Saturday, REMENAF had a press conference. There was a press conference in respect of what the retirees and the families of the fallen heroes are going through. If a retiree is well cared for, at least it is an opportunity for him to have access to medicals. He will live well, feed well, but the pension, some are not even getting it at all. And when it comes in chains.
Interesting. I'm just wondering, because, I also ask this question when it comes to civil servants who retire and are unable to get access to their pensions. I'm wondering, if I'm a serving soldier or Air Force or in the Navy, and I see what the plight of the people who are pensioners and retirees right now, what would be my mindset? I'm just wondering.
That is, REMENAF is, in fact, there's a memo we sent to HMOD that the way we are being treated as retirees, the veterans of the Nigerian Armed Forces are not treated well, and it's affecting the soldiers who are on the ground fighting, because when they look back, is this what I will come out to be? Is this what I will come out to face? The morale will be very low. But if you treat us well, they will be happy that If I'm retiring after 35 years, I'm not going to be on streets. I'm not going to beg. I have enough to eat. I have a shelter on my head. So those are the things that REMENAF is pushing to see that the retirees, when you retire, you will be happy that you have used your useful age. Like I joined the army at 18. I've never done any job in my life. I don't know how to do any other job. I served army for 35 years. So when you add 35 to 18 years, am I not old? What else do you want me to do at 50-something?
I can imagine. I'm just wondering if it was just a normal civilian, I mean, if it was just someone who probably hasn't served in the army, that is the commander-in-chief, you probably might not understand your plight, but we have a commander-in-chief who has been in the army. How come?
He's the patron of the veterans of the Nigerian
So how come your plight or your appeals have not gotten to the president?
Now we have REMENAF in particular with coalition of the retired member of the armed forces. There's a coalition who represent all the other pressure groups. They call them CCTV. We have on several occasions, both in written, we have gone to MOD. We want to speak with the president. We want to see him. We want to speak with him one-on-one.
If you were to see the president now, what are the issues? You just look at the camera and say exactly
what
the
I
issues.
will tell the president is, Mr. President, the Nigerian veterans are suffering. We are hungry. We are on the streets, and we are dying every day. Please, we need you to help us to improve our pension. The approved harmonized pension scheme since November 2017, sir, have not been paid to us. We don't know where the problem is from, but the federal government announced the harmonization November 2017. Up to date, our pension has not been harmonized. When you take home with the inflation everywhere, you take your pension 25,000 naira. Then that is where your house rent is. That is where your children's school bill is. Ask me, how do you fit? How do you go through your medicals? Some of us are on drug for life. Diabetes, hypertension, call it any sickness, is in our mix as veterans. How do we take care of all those things? I'm using this medium to appeal to Mr. President. Please come to our rescue. We have tried to meet you one-on-one. Teachers come to you, but you are part of us. We are the Nigerian veterans from the armed forces. We want to meet with you. Because we know if we meet with you, part of our problem will be solved.
All right. Okay. Interesting. For the young people who are still serving in the army, we know they have their own problems, their plights. I mean, recently we heard they were complaining they needed to be, more equipped and so they can fight whatever it is that they're fighting, whether it's insurgents, whether it's yes. So what would be your word of encouragement to them? You've been there, you've served in the army. Everything hasn't been, fine and dandy, but what would be your word of advice to them? Because they need encouragement, they need love, from us.
It hasn't been so good, but it is worse now. Why it is worse now? Because previously Nigerians, with the Nigerian army soldiers, if we go to Liberia, go to Sudan, we represent. We are the hero of peacekeeping.
Interesting.
We came back to Nigeria with medals. There is no peacekeeping that Nigeria is part of that have failed as far as the history of this whole world is concerned. Think about it. Sierra Leone, Liberia, Nigeria championed it, but not East now. Okay, what is happening?
We really have limited time. The
yes,
question is actually a word of encouragement. We know you're not very happy right now.
What I'm going to tell my children is that in the armed forces, we never give up. That is the spirit.
Okay, never give up.
Never give up. Keep on fighting. One day, all the problems will have solution.
Okay.
And that is our prayer.
We take a chair to that. One day our problems will
all
be
be solved. Well, we want to thank you very much, Comrade Juliet Esomchukwu, Welfare Director, REMENAF, that's the retired members of the Nigerian Armed Forces, for speaking with us as we celebrate Armed Forces Remembrance Day. Thank you so much for being here.
It's my pleasure to be with you.
All right.
Thank you again. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll be looking at godfatherism in Nigerian politics. Do stay with us.